So 4 players have been drafted, which is a lot better than it was last year. But I'm here to tell you that there should have been 7 to 8 prospects selected. And even though I'm very happy that it's 4, I'm not satisfied. You shouldn't either. But the good thing is, it's a step in the right direction. These HBCU players are hungry. They're motivated to prove people wrong, to show that they belong. And one thing I love about the athlete that comes out of a HBCU, nothing was given to them. They have earned everything. I repeat, everything given to them. And I'll chime in. What's good, everyone? This is RawTruth Media, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Peace and blessings, peace and love to everyone that's listening. The NFL draft. And yes, there were 4 HBCU players drafted. That's a good thing. But there should have been 7 or 8. And I'm not trying to nitpick, but I had to keep it real with you. There were some prospects who weren't even in the system that were drafted. There were prospects that were never suggested of being drafted, being selected. But before I go on, I want to say congratulations to Joshua Williams. I had a feeling that he was going to be the number 1 player off the board. What he did at the Senior Bowl, the recent Senior Bowl that is, in his measurables, being 6'2.5", 200 plus pounds, a press man corner, and I know he played Division II, but talent is talent. What I am surprised is that Hbcu Bell was not selected in the draft. Matter of fact, he was an undrafted free agent. That should have never happened. I thought he was going to be selected in the 3rd round. I literally had Bell as a top 5 safety in my predictions. I thought no later than 4th. So for the Dallas Cowboys to get Hbcu Bell was a steal. An absolute steal. If you pay attention to the Dallas Cowboys, you know that their starting safeties are good. But their backup safeties are not so strong. I would be surprised if Bell doesn't make the 2 deep. I'm very confident he'll make the 2 deep, be an ace in special teams, and contribute right away. Matter of fact, the 49ers and the Eagles, and speaking of them, if you look into social media, their fans were saying, man, they wish they would have had Bell. Well, that would have been a lot easier if you would have drafted him instead of waiting for someone to be drafted free agency. I made a video about this. Do not wait on these HBCU players to slide down into the draft and out of the draft to test your luck, because it changes things. See, Eagles, 49ers, you guys had great drafts, but you would have made it a lot easier on yourselves if you would have just drafted Hbcu Bell. Me being a Cowboy fan, I'm glad that my favorite team has him. I just wish that Bell was drafted. He was a man on a mission when he played at FAMU, was a menace, did everything for that squad. They had one of the best defenses in all of FCS. next to Jackson State. Some say they're number one, some say they're number two. All I know is FAMU is up there. One or two, whatever you fans like to go with. They're elite. But Marquise Bell is going to be a problem in the NFL. And just watch. Just watch. When you hear about mini camp and training camp and rookie mini camp, you're going to hear his name a lot. James Houston was drafted in the 5th round. Shout out to James Houston. Correction, 6th round. Another athlete that should have been drafted in the 3rd or 4th round at least. 16 and a half sacks, pretty much 25 tackle for loss. Transformed the Jackson State defense to what it is. And they call him the problem for a reason. Because he caused problems throughout the SWAC. Double teamed every game. Now, if you watch his film, you would have known that he is that guy. But I'm seeing linebackers who did half of what he has done get selected before him. And something needs to change. There needs to be more innovation. Now, I brought this up, and many others brought this up in social media. There needs to be more pre-draft HBCU predictions, strengths and weaknesses more. And I know there's sites that do it, but it needs to be showcased more. Now, shout out to Coach Prime. Coach Prime did a Rising Senior Showcase in front of NFL scouts. Now those players are on the radar. And I guarantee you, I 1,000% guarantee you all that HBCU athletes will be selected more in 2023. I just have a strong feeling. That Rising Senior Showcase was one of the smartest things that happened to HBCUs. Extremely smart. I also want to mention congratulations to Jacoby Durant of South Carolina State. He was a menace, did a great job against Jackson State when they played against them in the Celebration Bowl. He also showed out against Clemson. Picked off Clemson, I think it's about 2 times. Shut down their receivers. And I watched that game. That was the toughest 50 points I've seen throughout the season. Not even close. And he's playing for the Rams, who won a championship last season. I expect Durant to come in, be that junkyard dog that we all know he is, and to earn a position. And lastly, Trey Carter of Southern University. He was drafted by the Chicago Bears. The Bears need a lot of things, especially receiver. And I feel bad for Justin Fields because the Bears did not even try to at least get a respectable receiver in this draft. I don't know what they're doing, but that's another topic for a different day. Trey Carter is a good run blocker. Throughout the SWAC, he showed good hand placement, good footwork, excellent technique, doesn't go out of his own way. He seems like an athlete that is acceptable to coaching, which is so important in the NFL. If you can't take coaching well, you won't survive in the league. This young brother can do that. And you never know, maybe he could get some playing time for the Bears. Justin Fields was sacked so many times, they should be not only drafting a bunch of offensive linemen, but having a bunch of offensive line undrafted free agents. That's how bad it was. But there you have it. You have Joshua Williams, 4th round, going to the Chiefs. The Kobe Durant going to the LA Rams at number 4. And then you have James Houston at number 6 to the Lions. And lastly, like I mentioned, Trey Carter to the Jaguars. It's a start, but I'm not satisfied. Let's keep changing the game. Let's keep being innovative. Let's keep promoting these athletes that's playing for HBCUs and bringing them a new type of spotlight. And before I go, now that you saw the draft, and I mentioned this at the beginning of the video, there's no more excuses about why the NFL doesn't draft HBCU players when you have Division II players who came out of nowhere. When you have prospects who weren't even supposed to be drafted, getting drafted. I no longer want to see anything that says, oh, SWAC players can't get drafted because of difficulty of schedule being weak. I don't want to hear it because you didn't say it to them who were drafted. Let's keep it 1,000. And last but not least, shout out to the JSU fans. No matter if you like them or not, when James Houston or none of their student athletes were drafted first, what did they do? They congratulated Joshua Williams and the Kobe Durant like they went to their school. And that's what it's all about. It's about the big picture. It's not no infighting or inner competition. Because at the end of the day, the powers that be sees us all the same. Unfortunately, they see us as below them. And that has to change. Let's stay focused. Let's be about the big picture and about leveling the playing field. Nothing else matters but that. This is RawTruth Media, giving you the raw content that you deservedly need. Peace and love to everyone, and I'm out.